Happy Tuesday. It's a gorgeous Tuesday. We're live from Social Taco in Homewood. Landrum Roberts, Pat Smith, Molly Robinson, Conrad Van Order along in just a bit. The Terrace already got folks here. Larry is here, Stan the Godfather, and Don. And we walked into a little bit of
drama.
A quarrel. I'll call it lovers' quarrel.
A little bit of
Maybe
drama
a little bit of a tiff. We got Barner on Barner crime going on.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. You got the basketball team infighting in the locker room, so why not?
Yeah. Baseball's 3-0, guys. Huh? How about the sweep of Youngstown State this weekend? You guys get it together. So, yeah, that's going on as we enter today. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad, Molly, walking into this hornet's nest up here. You all right?
Yeah, I'm a little flustered, a little shaken, but I'm okay. I think I'll be okay.
Okay. Mike Griffith will soothe the choppy waters.
Really? Because he's normally one to shake things up a little bit.
He will be on the program coming up in just a couple of minutes. Did you go home and watch the rest of the Olympics yesterday afternoon?
Of course I did, because I'm a Patriot. I also pulled weeds.
How about the geriatric wing of the United States Olympic team?
At 41, who knew?
Coming up with 2 big medals yesterday in the bobsled.
Bobsled, and that's your favorite event.
It is.
Ah, you were a proud papa, weren't you?
It was fantastic. It was great.
No, United States. I'm proud of. That's a really, really cool story, and that's part of the Olympics that we really appreciate, right?
Very much so.
What's the medal count?
Medal count. As we stand, as of this morning, we are still in 3rd place. We have 19.
Ooh.
We have 6 golds. We have 8 silver, 5 bronze. Norway at 28. Italy at 23. You know, when I was watching the bobsled, they made a great point. So they were very late building the bobsled track. Like literally, you know, it was like within a year. It was like 300-something days that they had this thing built. Whereas before, when it was in Beijing for the Winter Olympics, they had that sucker built where the team China could practice all the time on the course that they were going to be running for the Olympics. Whereas the Italians only got a few months to actually train on the course that they were using.
Yeah, not a big surprise.
That the Chinese was
the Chinese, they were really efficient in getting something built. And I'm sure that all kinds of laws were met.
Yeah. But as expected, we talked about it yesterday during the program, the United States women's team, they shut out Sweden to advance to the gold medal game. A very close game between Canada and Switzerland. Canada wins 2-1, so it now will be the United States against Canada for the gold medal.
That's the way we want it, right?
And that's in the middle of our show on Thursday.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. That will be, I think, a 12 noon or 12:30 start, our time, on Thursday.
I'm running out of gear to wear, so I'm going to go to Amazon and order something.
Okay.
Amazon USA Hockey.
Okay. All right. Today's busy Olympic schedule will continue. There's 9 medal events: snowboarding, Nordic combined, biathlon, speed skating, freestyle skiing, and bobsled. Also, we've got women's figure skating short program. That starts at noon today. You going to be locked in on that?
Of course I'm going to be locked in. I'm always locked in.
How's the ice? Any more drama with the
I
Zamboni?
hope it's not. They need to Zamboni it twice instead of just once like they usually do.
Okay.
Bunch of amateurs.
Yeah.
I even know that, and I've never figure skated a day in my life competitively.
We need you to get you a day on the Zamboni. Work that out.
That
Maybe
would
Pelham
be
Ice Arena.
a literal dream come true.
Kind of like a fantasy camp for Zamboni drivers.
Yeah.
And have her
Molly's just
spend a
making
day.
passes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you gotta take it serious, Molly.
Well, no,
They're
I
gonna
know.
let you drive the
Don't worry,
Zamboni.
there's no bumpers on the ice.
Yeah,
There's no curbs on the ice.
That's right. And there's no other Zambonis that you have to contend with while you're on the ice.
Exactly. It's just me.
That's good.
Yeah.
The court is back in session today in Knox County, so we might hear something on the Joey Aguilar case. There have been multiple national media outlets, including our very own Trey Wallace from Outkick, who joins the program every Wednesday during the college football season. He reported on Friday. He was there the whole time, and he did not feel very good about Aguilar's chances. And I know Chris Lowe did a radio interview, Conrad, up in Nashville, and he felt the same way, saying that he believed that Joey Aguilar may be on the wrong side of things once the judge comes down with his ruling. So we'll see.
Well, this does differ, obviously, from what we saw with Charles Bediako, differs from the case that was heard in Mississippi with Trinidad Chambliss. But looking at this, I didn't think it was that far-fetched that Joey Aguilar would get an extra year of eligibility. Did you?
I didn't, but the questions that were asked by the judge was very interesting. Joining us now on the Higginbotham Hotline from the AJC, also covers the Georgia Bulldogs for DogNation.com. Mike Griffith joins us here on Three Man Front. Mike, I hope you're doing well this Tuesday. We're just talking about just some of the folks that was in the courtroom on Friday in the Joey Aguilar hearing, and they give us the indication that perhaps this is not such a slam dunk like I know it's a different case than the Trinidad Chambliss, but this might be a hard sell, and Tennessee fans might be disappointed when this judge makes a ruling.
Yeah, I mean, Joey came in and did a really nice job last year, and I don't want to say he made us forget about Nico, but I thought he did a more than adequate job for Tennessee. I don't think he was the problem. I'm just not sure where I stand with his eligibility issue. I understand the situation for these young men that want to extend their careers, and you need to have some degree of balance, though, competitive balance. I mean, I think that there was a rule that you had 5 years to play 4 years, and junior college years counted towards that. And now we're kind of changing the rules. I mean, if we're going to go by the book on the Bediako situation, then why aren't we going to do that on everything? And I guess this is where different judges have different rulings, and all we can do is sit back and wait and see how it turns out. I guess it says something if a player has enough money to pursue it in court. That obviously means that there's some money waiting for him to play another year of college. Chambliss is a little different. I think Chambliss is making more money coming back to Ole Miss than he would have as a rookie in the NFL. Some people challenge that, but if he goes in the second round, he's making more guaranteed money coming back to Ole Miss and potentially improving his draft stock, and then whatever other deals could be in place for Trinidad. Joey, I'm not quite sure. I don't know how he projects as an NFL player. I would say that Trinidad Chambliss looks like a better NFL prospect to me than Joey Aguilar at this moment.
How much, with the ruling we got in the Bediako case, if it does go against Joey Aguilar in Tennessee, in that case in Knox County, Mike, how much does this dissuade potentially other athletes in other states and other attorneys that want to go with the same legal recourse?
I don't know that it dissuades them, but it certainly puts a hurdle in front of them that there would be a precedent. Right now the precedent with Chambliss is getting another year in the favor of the student athlete. If one were to go against the student athlete, in a case of eligibility involving college years, I would say it would be a blow to the next case. But again, you just don't know. I mean, part of the issue for me is with our legal system. Different judges interpret law different ways, and there's different circumstances. And just like there was for the NCAA, when the NCAA was the judge and jury, they had waiver requests put in front of them, and they had to decide each case in and of its own. So the fact that we've turned this over to the court system, I don't know whether I have to like it or not. I kind of feel like there's a lot more important things that need to be heard in our courts than collegiate eligibility, but here we are.
Mike Griffith from the AJC, DogNation.com, joins us here on Three Man Front. So I understand that Kirby Smart has added a very big name, a very famous name, a very good running back to the mix of coaches there on the Georgia staff. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I mean, Robert Edwards is back, and as you mentioned, a fantastic running back in his Georgia days, and he's done some coaching leading into this. He's been hired into a support role, previously held by David Hill, who's now at Colorado State. So he'll be the assistant running backs coach at Georgia. He had worked back in the day on this player connections coordinator. Guys, I got to tell you, these roles they come up with, I don't know how they come up with these titles because they just weren't there before. Do you remember when there was only 11 or 12 guys and a few GAs, and now there's 100. So when we talk about where's the money going to come from, do you really need that many coaches and assistants and roles? And to me, that's eating up a lot of money that could be going towards NIL. I think this is something every athletic department has to look closely at.
Mike, whether real or perceived, we discussed it on the show yesterday. Why does it feel like Greg Sankey and the SEC has now been put back into the mix with all the other Power Four conferences, where at one time it did seem like, and this was my perception, that we were at the head of the table?
Well, I don't know if I'd say that it's put back with the Big 12 and the ACC, but I do think that because the Big Ten's won the last 3 national titles and has the largest revenue contract with their television partner, and as I mentioned many times, they control the 3 largest media markets with New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. The SEC used to wave the flag that they had the championships. Now, the SEC still has the highest rated games. I still think it has the most popular television package, which surprisingly doesn't translate to the most valuable, but that goes back to markets, right? What markets you're in. So I also think it's because the the SEC has kind of tried to cater to the Big Ten, tried to be the adult in the room, tried to say, okay, what do we need to do to make this work? And the Big Ten is pretty much immovable with what they want. And I think they know they've got the leverage and the power to get what they want. And I think Greg Sankey is doing what he can to represent his league and his league interests, but also work with other conferences for the good of college football and get some semblance of continuity between the conferences, between the Power Four schools. There certainly seems to be a growing divide between the power conferences and the group of 5, group of 6 conferences. A lot of that has to do with money. A lot of that is competitive balance. And to me, it's only a matter of time before we have to look at different rule books and, different infrastructures for how we manage the Power Four. And yes, I am talking about, a super conference breakaway. It seems inevitable to me at some point. It's not if, it's when.
Mike, I wanted to ask you about SEC spring meetings. Last year, it made headlines across college football with the interesting, beautiful packet that was sent out to the members of the media talking about how good the SEC football was and how deep it was. Just right now, obviously we're months away from that happening. Do you foresee anything like that again being the big story, or do you think the big story will be the continued potential of moving this past a 12-team playoff to maybe a 16, and how they can come to a common ground between the Big Ten and the SEC?
Well, that certainly is the big story. I don't know if that's going to be the main item discussed there because I don't really know what can get settled. We're going to have a 12-team playoff for another year. I'm sure Greg Sankey is going to explain, his position on why, if indeed the situation was that he would have needed to agree to a 24-team playoff to get the 16-team playoff for the next 2 or 3 years. I'm sure he'll go into his explanation of why, and if I had to guess, the long and short of it would be that he wants as much information as possible before every move. And so, locking himself into a move for a 24-team playoff when we don't see the ramifications and unintended consequences of a 16-team playoff wouldn't seem to make sense or be necessary. It was simply an attempt by the Big Ten to leverage SEC and really the ACC and Big 12 too, because they were on board with the 5-11 model that the SEC coaches favored. So that's absolutely an overarching story, but because there's no immediacy to it, I don't know how much more we're going to get out of that other than background and, idle speculation. And, Commissioner Sankey told us many times he doesn't like hypotheticals. He may make an exception because this seems like such a mess. I think the transfer portal is interesting to me because last year the SEC came out of there wanting one portal window right around the dates that Commissioner Sankey came up with, the 2nd through the 16th. And then the Lane Kiffin situation happened. And Nick Saban weighed in and all the other people from the same agency that Nick's a part of. And, are for a portal that's more favorable to the coaches, I believe, and their ability for freedom of movement and higher contracts. I don't necessarily believe that they're wanting the portal shift in the interest of the student athlete. Unfortunately, I think we have to look at everybody's motives here. So I'll be curious to see if we go back to 2 portal windows. The SEC kind of got their way with that, with 1 portal window. I know the Big Ten wanted 2. I understand why for 1 and why for 2. So I think that's got to get sorted out. Those would be the things. I think the 9-game conference schedule there'll be some bemoaning of that. I think there'll be some talk about the SEC championship game and how they have to evaluate its value. The SEC is as good as it said it was. That's the problem. They beat each other up. When Georgia took the field, and Alabama fans certainly understand they were missing some key players in the SEC title game and their quarterback after the second quarter against Indiana. But when Georgia played against Ole Miss, they were missing their edge rusher. They were missing, one of their middle linebackers got hurt in the first quarter of the game. Their starting running back went out before the pivotal red zone series. They were missing their starting center, best offensive lineman that they have. Wide receiver just coming back from injury that was not honored. Injuries played a role in that game. They're missing their starting safety. Another guy lined up in the wrong place, led to Ole Miss's big play on their eventual winning drive. When you play in the SEC and you play the number of four-quarter games that you have to play in this league, Georgia having to come from behind in 6 of their 7 SEC wins, that's a lot of snaps on your starters, and it's a lack of development for your backups. The Big Ten, conversely, with 3 or 4 really good teams and then quite a drop-off below that, they're playing those 2.5, 3-quarter games where their starters aren't getting the same number of snaps. They're able to protect the health of their players better, and they're able to develop their depth better as well. And that's definitely an advantage. So, and I think that plays out in the playoffs. I think that's a benefit to the Big Ten. So because of that depth that the SEC has, a 9-game schedule, I don't think the 24-team playoff's a bad thing for the SEC, but I'm not sure where the SEC championship game fits in because that's one more game on top of the 9 conference games for your 2 best potential representatives in the playoffs.
Mike, I don't know what the temperature is where you are, but it's Chamber of Commerce here. I can only imagine it's Chamber of Commerce down in Gulf Shores and the Gulf of America, and Alabama's beautiful Gulf beaches.
Yeah,
Tell our listeners how they can take advantage
Absolutely.
of a great Gulf Shores getaway.
I'll tell you, the starfish were washing up on the shoreline. It was really beautiful. I saw some pictures. I wasn't down there for it, but you forget about all the wildlife down there. I mean, I told you about the dolphin sighting you see down there for Morgan Pier, but yeah, I mean, it's beautiful here too, and it's a good time of year, to get down there. I mean, my March is pretty much full down there, but April and May right now are pretty open if people want to book a 3 or 4 day stay. And like I said, if they listen to the program, I give them 20% off. They just need to message the at Gulf Shores Getaway AL Instagram account, follow us, and you can kind of see the condo there. There's some video of it up, and you can get a pretty good idea what it is and where it's at and some of the things the family may experience. If you want to go down there with 2 or 3 families, we got 3 king rooms, each has their own private bathroom and bunk bed downstairs and another full bath and a big sectional and patio and a pool. So there's all sorts of neat things down there for family trips, and they do a really nice job in Gulf Shores and that community. Restaurants are great. It doesn't really break the bank account like some of the other beach cities that you might go to in Florida. And it's not really over commercialized. I don't want to call out any names, but you know what cities, I'm not going to call out Panama City and Myrtle Beach and tell you it's not like that. But
No,
it's
don't
actually
do that.
pretty nice and family friendly and easy to navigate. So yeah, but it's at Gulf Shores Getaway AL on Instagram, and I appreciate the relationship we've had with the Alabama listeners. There's a lot of Alabama folks that like to go down there and enjoy those 32 miles of coastline that belong to the heart of Dixie. You're keeping your money in the state too, and as Alabama rebuilds their economy, it's really strong forecast ahead. So I'm excited about it, and I appreciate that you guys are too, and doing a service for the listeners.
Hey, we've got the first weekend in May. I expect you to be down there. Just pitch it to the AJC and Dog Nation. You're covering an NCAA event. Yep. But if you've never seen it, Mike, I think you would really appreciate it. And you would really appreciate what Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Sports Commission does to put on that event in conjunction with the NCAA.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the facilities. I mean, there's people moving down there to send their kids to school there. I mean, their schools are all 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, new school, brand new high school for Gulf Shores. I mean, they built this new sports complex, new $50 million sports complex down there. I mean, it's a whole new world down there, and it's beautiful. And again, it's part of Alabama, and that's why to me it means a lot. I don't know. I would not buy anything in Florida right now. I don't think anybody in real estate would, but Alabama's a really strong investment right now too. They have reasonable taxes, and obviously you guys know a good cost of living and a really strong working class. So I think it's a good place to be.
That is Mike Griffith from the AJC, DogNation.com. Joins us every Tuesday on the program. Mike, go out and enjoy this beautiful Tuesday, and we'll catch up with you next week.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks,
you
Mike.
too. That is Mike Griffith. Joins us on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Oh, what's going on? Tom Mars is in the news again? We'll tell you why next on Three Man Front.
It is 10:24. We're live at Social Taco. Come on by and see us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock each and every Tuesday. Always appreciate Mike Griffith joining us from the AJC, DogNation.com. Coming up a little bit later in the program at 11 o'clock, Nick Kelly from AL.com. Get his thoughts on Alabama basketball as they get ready for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Later on in the program, speaking of Arkansas, Ty Richardson from ESPN Radio in Arkansas, good friend of the program. He'll give the Arkansas side of things, and Dimitri Ravanos will join us at his typical 1 o'clock here at Social Taco.
Well, flu season is here, so make your home healthier with Trane's Clean Effects Home Air Cleaner. It removes up to 99.9% of airborne particles, including those that cause virus. It's 100 times more effective than standard air filters and 8 times more effective than HEPA room filters. So go and find a dealer near you at Trane.com.
So Landrum just mentioned it didn't take long. He was successful last week with Trinidad Chambliss. But, yes, Tom Mars, the famed attorney, is being hired by Jerome Tang to fight Kansas State's ruling yesterday that they were firing Tang because of embarrassment and the fact that he broke things in his contract. So it's with cause, and they're not going to have to pay him $18.5 million. Now, AD at Kansas State, Gene Taylor, he said the school's case is built on Tang's comments that we've played multiple times on this show, in which he was talking about how the players embarrassed the university and they should not wear the jerseys of Kansas State. Well, according to Gene Taylor, what he said is a violation of his contract, which states he shall not engage in any behavior, actions, or activities that subjects coach, K-State athletics, or the university to public disrepute, embarrassment, ridicule, or scandal. They view his contract or his comments in regards to an embarrassment brought on by national people like Landrum Roberts talking about it and playing the audio.
Well, I'll say this. Tom Mars does not hitch his wagon to many losers. And for him to come out, I'm guessing he's read through all of the facts, everything that Jerome Tang has given him, and read through everything that is discoverable right now. But for him to say, you don't know embarrassment, you're about to be embarrassed, Tom Mars feels really, really good about winning this case.
Yeah, matter of fact, Tom Mars told ESPN, if K-State's president and AD really think the school was embarrassed by recent events, that's nothing compared to the embarrassment that both of them are about to experience.
Some of these schools, I know that they have legal teams. Where are they getting some of this legal advice? Or is this just an AD and somebody else making the move and saying we've got grounds to dismiss him? Or is this, we need to fire him anyways, this is going nowhere, and let's just go throw this other stuff out there so maybe we don't have to pay as much?
The general feeling from reading some people that are close to Kansas State, basically they're hoping for a 25%, I guess, reduction of his buyout. So if you owe him, let's say, just round about, $20 million, and you got 25% of that, so that's, $5 million. So it's a little bit less than $20 million.
Well, now Jerome Tang, that money is actually going to go to Tom Mars.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I did want to ask Conrad this because I have Landrum showed this on his phone, and I've been getting some text messages.
Is it the Seton Hall baseball player?
No, it's an engagement.
It's an engagement announcement. Is this true?
Is that real?
Is that real?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
My sources say no.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, she had to wait until he turned 19 to say yes?
Anytime somebody posts something like that on social media and they make it to where they turn the comments off so people can't reply to it, kind of immediately a red flag in my opinion that it's probably not legitimate.
Well, we were going to congratulate him.
Well, I mean, I'll just tell you this. When I do have an opportunity to check out TikTok, and I do screen grabs and I send them to Conrad because just like last year, the Auburn basketball team, Janai Broom was on TikTok every single night playing video games. Every night.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Williams and Dre Kirkpatrick, they're doing lives almost all the time on TikTok. As a matter of fact, the other night, I think it was Ryan Williams' birthday, and they were having, just –
they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, just chilling out, whatever the case may be. So I was just curious because when I saw a couple other people post that he got engaged, that I'm like, wow, I would thought that would have been a kind of a big thing.
Well, I was looking at the age gap, so that would be 25 and 19. I was thinking, well, high school sweetheart. Well, no, that doesn't work.
Got held back a few times.
Yeah, whatever. But no, I thought that was a sweet story, especially this time of year. But apparently, Conrad, it's not true.
No, but it's a nice thought. I didn't know that she was 25. I assumed it was some.
Oh, she looks great for 25.
Yeah, I assumed
got a very youthful face.
Another 19-year-old college student.
I was about to say, how did he celebrate 19? Back when you could buy tobacco legally here in the state. I don't think you can do that anymore, right? What's the legal age to buy tobacco
it's 21.
now? Is it 21 here in the state of Alabama? So I don't know what 19 gets you.
Nothing.
Prison time, I guess.
20 to life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it gets you. Hey, and we're talking about Jerome Tang, and we have our first K-State fan that has showed up.
Isn't that crazy?
That's weird.
We were literally talking about it, and then all of a sudden
K-State appears.
Comes up the stairs, and then
Is it Jerome Tang?
Oh,
because he's not very
No.
busy right
no,
now.
No.
She
She's
looks
not.
nothing like Jerome.
No, not at all.
It's a husband and wife. She is wearing the K-State gear.
Yes. Her husband is a huge Alabama fan.
Yes, he is.
Why he's talking to Don Don, I do not know.
Her husband has performed at many events.
Has the beef subsided up there, or y'all still? I just don't want y'all to be uncomfortable because I know y'all are.
It's
Having to
it's
monitor
awkward.
things.
I warned Pat because Stan was here before Don Don, and I warned him. I said, "Hey, heads up, we got some Barner on Barner going on today. Stan has been out of shape because apparently Don Don has a new bestie, but Don Don said, he has besties for different teams that he supports. So he's got a Stallions bestie. Stan is worried that he's getting left behind, and it's awkward. I'll be honest with you, it's awkward.
It's very awkward, but we'll get through it.
Not playing it up. It's awkward. I'm looking at Stan right now.
I mean,
he will not look at Don Don.
I mean, Mary's kind of soothing things over.
We could turn the camera around.
BB will be here in a minute. FSU Dave.
Oh, and Steve from Tuscaloosa
Is he
said he's
coming
on his
today?
way and he's bringing a king cake.
Oh, how about
Oh.
that?
Oh, yeah, by the way, it's Fat Tuesday.
That's right. Sure is. All right, we will continue on. We are live at Social Taco. You can be a part of the fun. I mean, it's just starting to fill up, and we're at 10:30. The door's
The
officially
door's officially open 29 minutes from now, but you know what? You come on in. Come upstairs. We'll get you taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, it's first come, first serve seating, and it's starting to get filled up.
We got to get the K-State dish from this nice lady right here.
Yeah. Well, you're about to have an opportunity to go ask her.
I can't wait.
All right.
I got a lot of questions.
Okay.
Like Tom Mars type questions.
We will roll on this Tuesday live from Social Taco on Jocks. 10:35 here on Jocks. We're live at Social Taco. Nick Kelly from AL.com. He will join the program coming up at the top of the hour. We'll go to Arkansas in 12 noon, and Dimitri Ravenos will join the program at 1 o'clock. That is straight ahead. We've already talked to Mike Griffith from the AJC, DogNation.com. As always, you can download the Three Man Front podcast. Take us along with you on the Jocks 94.5 app. You can watch us even live here at Social Taco on YouTube. Just smash that subscribe button at the bottom of the screen on Jocks TV.
70 degrees and sunny here in Birmingham and much of Alabama today. The warm weather. Spring will officially be here. And what does that mean? That means storm season, and that means protecting your home. And what is impacted usually during a storm? First, that would be your roof. Hey, make sure that your biggest investment is protected. Our friends locally owned and operated at Noto Roofing. It's Sammy and Matt Noto. Wonderful guys. I've known them forever. You can trust these guys. They're going to do great work. They stand on what they do. They're going to work alongside your insurance company if you need assistance with that in the claims process. Chris, one of their talented professionals who's been in it almost 3 decades, he'll come to your home. He's going to walk the roof, walk the house, and he's going to be very honest and open about what he finds. He's not going to recommend that you buy something or add something or replace something that you don't need. That's not how they work, and that's not how you get repeat business. Ventilation inspections, make sure the hot air is able to escape the attics, all of that good stuff that can help to lower your power bills. They offer free inspections to all Jocks listeners. Read the reviews, find out for yourself. It's Noto Roofing. I always say yes to Noto. N-O-T-O roofing.com, 205-848-2299. That's Noto Roofing, N-O-T-O. Always tell them Landrum from Jocks sent you.
So the Birmingham Tip-Off Club next Monday, Greg Byrne is going to be the featured speaker. And we're all anticipating, like, okay, we're going to have to wait until the Birmingham Tip-Off Club to hear what he has to say about Greg Sankey giving an affidavit against Charles Bediako, or perhaps maybe Greg Byrne discussing Bruce Pearl's comments on national television in regards to Charles Bediako and Nate Oates. Well, we got a little precursor yesterday on the show John Canzano, which is a statewide radio show in the state of Oregon. You hear me mention John a lot. He was a longtime columnist for the Oregonian. So he had an interview yesterday with Greg Byrne. Take a listen to what Greg Byrne had to say. First off, Canzano sets it up by playing the audio of Bruce Pearl.
Nate said he'd play him 100 times again. What it tells me is that Nate really doesn't care about the SEC. He doesn't care about the NCAA. And it's fine. You're going to care about your student athletes. That's fine. But you're a member of this conference, and you're a member of the NCAA. What about the rest of the team? What about the rest of the players? Why should those 5 teams have had to play against an ineligible player? And I think it was selfish, and I think it was wrong.
The Bible says, "He who is without sin shall cast the first stone." And so I try to do my best to, I'm not perfect at it, but I try to do my best to live within those parameters.
Are you saying Bruce Pearl has some sins?
We all do. Longer you're in this world, it doesn't matter. You're dealing with 650 young people. You're dealing with 350 employees. You're dealing with a lot of fans that are passionate about college sports. You're going to have challenges. That's part of it.
That was Greg Byrne on the John Canzano radio show.
If Nate Oates and Greg Byrne aren't careful, we're going to work our way through the New Testament. Maybe that's what this is, and I love it. The public doesn't catch on, but this back and forth continues, and this is just becoming like a Bible study.
Because we got, the book of James from Coach Oates last
week?
Well,
we got the book. Yeah, we got the book of John coming up. Can't wait till we get into Acts. Romans should be good. No, he's right. He answered it correctly. I think it's funny how we look. Pat, I think you said it best, and this goes for not only football coaches but basketball coaches at any level. If you ask any of these guys to give you an opinion, there's a good chance that they've done the same thing. They've all done shady things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things that are considered shady, gray. But I think Greg Byrne answered that appropriately. And look, I go back to Bruce Pearl. He's getting paid to give an opinion. He's not a coach anymore. I thought Nate Oates handled it really well by taking the high road when he was asked to respond. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't mean anything. Charles Bediako's not going to play, and I don't think that we'll have many more Charles Bediako cases.
I don't think so either. But it is fascinating because next Monday, when he does speak to the tip-off club, I think that, the Greg Sankey portion of this has not been answered. You've had now, Nate Oates mention Bruce Pearl. You've had John Canzano ask Greg Byrne about Bruce Pearl. But I got a feeling there's going to be multiple people that's going to ask the question next Monday in regards to a sitting commissioner of the Southeastern Conference against one of his member institutions giving an affidavit, which
I would want an explanation as well.
Yeah. And listen, there might have already been an explanation given privately.
Right.
And I kind of speculated about this. I don't know this. It's just me. That perhaps before Greg Sankey put his name on a legal document, perhaps that had already been communicated, maybe to the president of the University of Alabama. And who knows? Maybe the president of the University of Alabama privately told Greg Sankey, hey, I'm with you 100%. But I can't say that publicly.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that publicly. Who knows? I mean, I don't know if that happened or not. I'm just speculating. But,
Yeah. And I don't think we'll ever get the full answer. Do you think that there was just so much coming from the other 15 member institutions and their offices that he felt compelled that he needed to put that out there, like he doesn't support this?
Well, I definitely think 14 for sure. Because
yeah. I forgot.
I think Ole Miss, I think Chris Beard was based on the communication that he had with Nate Oates and the letter that he sent Charles Bediako. I think he was okay with whatever was going on. But now the rest of them, you definitely know that Todd Golden and John Calipari had a problem with it. Bucky McMillan had a problem with it because he lost.
Yep.
If he wouldn't have lost, he probably wouldn't have said anything.
So does Sankey swoop in and get an easy PR win on the Aguilar case since it looks like it's going the NCAA's way?
Well, it'd be interesting if Greg Sankey would say anything about Aguilar, but he's not, just like he didn't say anything about Trinidad. So,
well, that was unprecedented to see what we saw. I couldn't believe when I saw it. I thought that it was someone who had created something on social media.
Are you talking about Sankey?
Yeah.
About the affidavit?
Because I was out of town. I remember coming in from the day when we were doing stuff and reading the headline and going, no, there's no way he put his name on an affidavit. But he did. So, yeah, I would want questions. I don't think that plays out publicly, though. I'm like you. I think that was communicated privately.
No, but I do believe that Greg Byrne will be asked that question.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there are enough really good journalists, whether it's Nick Kelly or Mike Rodak or Alex Scarborough or Charlie Potter. I mean, those guys will ask the question, when it's available or whatever the case may be. So we'll see what happens. We're still waiting on the Joey Aguilar case to be decided.
Now, if that goes against Tennessee, look, you could have a guy that shows out next year, but
that's problematic for them offensively.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel like you're getting better on defense, just bringing Jim Knowles in, but you got to have the cats to do it on that side of the ball. But offensively, Josh Heupel, not saying that he's on shaky ground, but he followed up and go 8-4 this year.
Well, I mean, you think about it. They make the college football playoff 2 seasons ago, and then they get absolutely embarrassed by Ohio State. Wasn't even close. And then all of a sudden you don't even make it last year.
Well, I could see this storyline playing out, and I don't know if it will, but you got your former offensive coordinator now coaching at Auburn. And what if Auburn's offense starts putting up big numbers, Tennessee's struggling? What is the immediate reaction?
So the reaction is that we let the wrong guy go.
Yeah.
And Golich should have been able to stay there and be the head coach.
Look at the record numbers we put up when he was here. Look what happened when he left.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen there. So, yeah, I think Joey Aguilar, that is a huge, huge impact, just like Trinidad Chambliss was on the potential tenure and how long Pete Golding is the head coach in Oxford, Mississippi. Because you're not getting that 5-6 year window to find your way anymore.
No.
Not in this conference.
You might be lucky to get 3.
3 lucky to
Maybe.
get 3.
Well, you can have a wonderful opportunity this afternoon because it's going to be absolutely gorgeous like yesterday to get by courtesy GMC in Trussville right off of I-459 exit 32. They've got over 50 2026 GMC Sierras on the ground. You can save up to $12,000 off MSRP. All trim levels to choose from there at courtesy GMC. They've also extended the $399 lease and sign on drive on the 2026 Canyon Elevation in stock. They started with 17, only a couple left, so you need to take advantage of that. Every new Courtesy GMC is going to come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty on all new GMCs. You can check out all the makes and models on certified pre-owned vehicles. You can visit them online at courtesybirmingham.com. And if you're looking to sell your vehicle, Courtesy is now looking for pre-owned inventory to acquire. Just stop by and Courtesy will give you a buy bid within 10 minutes. It's that simple. Go by and see Josh Gargis, Drew Lally, the fantastic team there at Courtesy GMC in Trussville off of I-459, exit 32.
You smell the tacos and all the good stuff below us here at Social Taco getting ready. We got folks here in the terrace. It's a Fat Tuesday. Come and join us live at Social Taco in the Square next to City Hall in Homewood as we broadcast until 2. We are Jocks. Stay with us. $10:49, Social Taco, new friends, old friends. We want to be friends with you. Join us here at Social Taco, the Mix and Match Taco Tuesday. Chicken feathers, lightly battered, deeply fried, to your heart's content. We're here until 2 o'clock, right next to City Hall, where the pressure washing crew, I see, has wrapped up. That must have been a good job for that crew. That was a lot of stuff to pressure wash.
It's been months.
Yep.
For them doing that. I guess making their way all the way in the building.
It's my tax dollars, Pat.
Good for you.
Making it happen for you, buddy.
Can't hide money over here.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Bama football, they have added a few analysts to the roster. CBS Sports is reporting that Alabama is expected to hire Arizona Cardinals scout Stephen Wise and Georgia Tech Executive Director of Recruiting Alex Mathis as members of its front office. Weiss has worked for Arizona the last 5 years. Mathis was Executive Director of Recruiting at Central Florida and a high school coach in Georgia before heading over to Georgia Tech. So a couple of added names to the Alabama coaches and the analysts there in Tuscaloosa.
Yep, right down the street you can find Mandu. I see Larry. He's looking like he's interested. Get into Mandu today, Larry. Your first visit's going to be free. They're going to put you in the suit. It's EMS technology, so that's electrical muscle stimulation fitness. It's all FDA approved. I know you're a tough guy, but it doesn't hurt. 15-minute workout equivalent to 6 hours in a gym. Mandu, right here in downtown Homewood, right up top. See Paul and the gang, got a great staff. Tell Caleb but said hello. First visit free. They'll put you through the workout, but what's so revolutionary about it, Larry, and everybody else, is the 15-minute workout is the equivalent to 6 hours in a gym. You're going to get results. Yep, you're going to get that washboard stomach that your wife wants. Mandu, MANDUU.com, MANDUU.com. Tell Landrum, or tell folks there at Mandu that Landrum and Larry said hello, and Larry will be in later.
KBTX TV in Bryan, Texas, because of a via open records request, they have received Texas A&M head coach Mike Elko's newest contract. Last month, Elko signed a new 6-year, $69 million deal. His base salary is $10.75 million in his first year. It raises $300K each year to $12.25 million in the final year 6 of his contract there in College Station. On top of that, support staff bonus pool increases by $300,000 for an 8 or a more win season. It increases another $300,000 for a college football playoff qualification.
That's why it's great to be the coach at Texas A&M.
And speaking of Mike Elko, he was on with J.D. Piquel from On3, and J.D. Piquel asked him, what would you do and what does college football need to improve itself?
Put somebody in charge. I think it's a $1.2 billion industry with not a singular voice in charge of it, making decisions for the betterment of college football. And I think until we get that, we're going to continue to flounder with some of those areas. And so, what's best for the SEC isn't always what's best for the other conferences. What's best for the other conferences isn't always best for the SEC. And at some point, we're going to have somebody who's capable of making rules regarding the betterment of college football, enforcement of rules, and all of it. And again, until we get that, I think we're all at risk of this thing not lasting like we want it to last.
Okay. Agree with everything he said. But are we really ready for that? Are we ready for putting one singular person in charge of college football and going, all right, we all agreed to this. You make up your mind, and we're just going to have to be happy with it? I don't think we are.
They can't even agree on how many teams need to play in a playoff.
No.
You can't even agree on revenue sharing. You can't even agree on a transfer portal. I mean, how are they going to come to the resolution that one single person, whether it be Nick Saban or Landrum Roberts, be in charge of college football?
No, I'm with you. I don't know if it needs to be a committee, if you need to have like a Supreme Court.
Let me ask you a question. Has there ever been a committee anywhere that's been worth a darn? I'm being serious. I mean, we give roses and flowers to the NCAA basketball committee. We feel like they do a solid job every year.
They do.
Let's put Martin Newton in charge.
I would absolutely second and third
I'd be down.
and quadruple that.
But it sounds all nice, and again, I think Elko means it, but I just don't know if everybody's ready to relinquish whatever control anybody has right now to one singular person to make decisions for Sacramento State and in the same breath for the University of Alabama. I don't think we're ready for that, folks. We got to get something figured out, though. What we do have figured out, hour number 2, live from Social Taco. Nick Kelly talking Alabama. That much more. A beautiful Tuesday here in the States. Glad you're with us here on Jocks.